The following program is presented by Pro Sound and Video.
Stay tuned to find out how a breast cancer survivor used her passion for painting as not only a form of recovery, but an opportunity to expand her world. A chiropractor's small acts of kindness that brought the community together and created a supportive environment that allows people to unite. And how the Baby Blues dance team are the real ones to bring the energy to our high school games. All of that and more on this episode of Broward Teen News. Hello, and welcome to Broward Teen News, West Broward Edition. My name is Camila Gomez, and on this episode, we're going to be sharing stories about the community covered by our teen journalists. To start us off, Katsumi Matsuzawa is an artist who's been painting for as long as she can remember. However, when she was diagnosed with breast cancer, it took a huge toll on her and put a pause on her passion. Yet she's used the art form she's known her entire life as a form of therapy to continue moving forward and learn to appreciate the little things in life. Here's Katsumi with her story.
Since I remember I was born, I've been painting. I feel like, to be honest, I didn't know how to do anything else. I was born with this gift. I just knew that I was happy painting. You know, I wasn't into reading, I wasn't into math. It was something that gave me some type of disconnection with what was out there. So it was like therapy for me as a child. So I went for my annual checkup and I got the terrible news that I was diagnosed with breast cancer. My priority was to take care of my health and to prepare myself for what was coming. And I went through different surgeries, different procedures. And during those procedures, my husband was the one that said to me, why don't you start painting again? Go back to painting, and I think it's gonna help you to overcome a lot of things that I was going through. And I think that pushed me to start, all over again, to do something that literally helped me to move on. It's something that help you to connect, I guess, to connect with reality, to connect with what you have in mind, your imagination. And it did create an impact in me, because when you go through such a tragic disease, you kind of want to block everything. When you enjoy something, it doesn't become a job. And one thing took me to another. I ended up doing an exhibition in Shanghai, China. And from there, I submitted one of my artwork to a brewing company. And I was the winner of the face of their beers. And from there, I was selected for the city of Miami to paint one of the sculptures. So it did change my life completely. So believe it or not, and it's funny that I'm saying this today's day, I think surviving a breast cancer was a blessing. Live today. Live today to the max, and don't worry about tomorrow.
Throughout her life, she saw how making use of what she learned really allowed her to thrive. And in order for something in life to thrive in the future, it first needs to gain support from its community. Dan Gossett is the pastor at City Rev Church, who looks forward to encouraging a bonded community and improving our environment to better our world by creating a place where people can both feel welcomed and accepted. Madison Goldie can fill you in.
Every community has its guiding lights that plan to lead them to a new, safe, loving, and impactful future. And in our community, Dan Gossett, the executive pastor at the City Rev Church, is one of them. His journey, along with the other pastors, of creating and establishing City Rev as a way of bringing multiple other churches together in a community that was just starting out.
So City Rev Church is a church that was started by 6 other churches out here in West Pembroke Pines that's designed to reach our community. We've got this great community out here on the edge of West Broward, and we love being able to serve our community, bringing the love and joy and acceptance of Jesus to our community.
Many people grow up in a place where they don't feel as appreciated or welcomed. One of City Rev's goals is to bring those types of people to a place where they can feel accepted, inspiring not just our community, but more specifically, our youth.
So at City Rev, the most important people that are here are our children and our students, because we believe that that is the next generation. It's not just waiting on them to be the next generation, but they're largely influential for today's generation as well. So we gear all of our environments to highlight kids and students and make sure that we're creating safe places for them to learn, to grow, to discover who they are, and to know and learn and grow God as well. So that they can interact with them, they can be the best version of them that God has designed them to be and have a relationship with their maker. So we love creating cool spaces for students like the Fuge, where we have waffles every Wednesday, and a place just for students to hang out. And there's no agenda, just come get a waffle, hang out, and be in a positive environment.
City Rev was first established in 2001 in our community and has grown with it in the years. It has become a safe haven for teenagers and adults alike and will hopefully continue to do so. Reporting for WB-TV, this has been Madison Goldie.
Although it's important to shed light on our community, it's also important to shed light on the students that make our school shine. This month, we wanted to highlight a junior in our TV production program who felt his creative flow was restricted, and instead of giving up, Nicholas Lebeouf took the initiative to make something for himself on his own time. Let's let Nick tell his story.
So when I got into high school, I started in the TV production class, and I've always had a love for film and TV, but it wasn't until I got into high school where I had to get assignments and they had due dates and they had prompts, where I felt I wasn't really creating stuff for myself, and I was more or less creating it for other people or for my teacher or for this due date. And I just felt I lost creativity and I lost motivation because I wasn't really getting the gratitude or the satisfaction from my peers for my art, because it wasn't really what I was making for myself. In the beginning of junior year, me and my friends had this idea to make this film, and it was an experimental, and it was like the first time where I didn't have like the pressure of making this for a competition or making this for class or an assignment. So I had the time and the ability to make this film with like putting myself into the art, expressing myself through the art. And then this competition called Young Arts came around, and it gave me the ability to express myself, and it gave me the ability to put my art into a competition that I wanted to. The one thing I've learned from my experience is that you need to create art for yourself, because when you express yourself into your art and that art succeeds, it's just this whole sense of completion and success, and it's just something that's amazing. And seeing that your vision come to life and being appreciated by other people is just something out of this world.
Nicholas Lebeouf is a shining example of how making something for yourself can truly make a difference, not just for the good of you, but also for the good of the community. Chiropractor Dr. Diego Kostzer uses his office, Fit for Action, as a way to not only help the members of his community feel better, but also forms a supportive and enjoyable environment that brings our community together one person at a time. Ashley Silva can bring us in.
Great. Good. Yeah.
In the corner of Cooper City sits a family-owned chiropractic business, Fit for Action. Diego Kostzer, the doctor and owner of the clinic, has been able to use his own experiences in this field to fuel his love and passion for not just becoming a chiropractor, but also for helping others.
Many years ago, I was on my way to medical school, and a very, very good friend of mine and mentor, he said, yeah, you're not going to medical school, you are going to go to chiropractic school. I said, why would I choose to go to chiropractic school? He says, look, it's not that you're choosing chiropractic school is choosing you. During that year, I started seeing him as a patient, just so I knew what I was going to get into. I was also diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Sure enough, when I started seeing him, I felt so much better. And I knew that I was doing the right thing by going to chiropractic school. I wanted to do what he did for me to others.
After realizing that his calling in life was to help others through his practice, Dr. Kostzer has worked hard to create an environment within his office that is like no other, causing patients to feel welcomed every time they step through the door.
I want to establish a place where you feel like you're part of something, not a number. Kind of like what they call that old school medicine, where, or old school healthcare. When somebody, back in the old days, like a doctor would go to somebody's house. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. But I want them to feel like they're a part of something. I don't want them to feel like they're just a number when they come to see us. I think the community that we have established here, where patients come in, it's almost an extension of my family.
Fit for Action provides its patients with the opportunity to physically feel better, while also allowing a compassionate and caring community to be built simultaneously. Dr. Koster's enthusiasm for his career and want to assist others highlights the many values that the Broward County community stands for. Reporting for WB-TV, this has been Ashley Silva.
Now it's time for a quick break. When we come back, we'll tell the story of how a woman wants to continue to cater and save animals, even as time passes her by.
There were these kids and they were doing this weird thing with their hands and...
Well, it's not up to you. I already made my decision.
But don't just go through the motions. Embrace them. Take it all in. Breathe, focus, then go.
You know, we've been raised to be leaders and be responsible and don't be a follower. And that's exactly what we're doing right now.
Welcome back. We hope you've been loving the variety of stories ranging from our community to our very own students. But when it comes to the things we love, we wish we could do it forever. Yet at some point, time will tell you to make do with what you have. Susan Mainguy, a staff member of Happi Farms, uses her passion for fostering animals to spread wisdom to the ones around her. And although time isn't in her favor, she does everything she can to ensure the environment is left better than when she found it. Let's allow her to tell her story.
Well, I started volunteering at Happi Farm after COVID because I was furloughed from my prior job at Zoo Miami, and I wanted to work with animals and continue to be outdoors. So I started volunteering here, and I volunteered here for several months, and then when they opened back up to the public, they asked me to come on as a staff member. Because I love animals, I love taking care of animals, I love teaching people about animals and talking to them about proper care, what makes a good pet, conservation of animals. It is my passion.
Animals are surrendered or rescued animals. So we try to help people out that can't keep them anymore and give them good care.
I think that this has made me a lot more aware of animals. We do accept surrendered and rescued animals, and that is new to me and has been a challenge to see that people will buy animals as pets and then give them up for the most mundane reasons. The main struggle for me is I'm a very sensitive person, and when you're dealing with this amount of animals, this range of animals, eventually some of them are going to pass away from health reasons, and to see that is very hard for me. But we have maybe 75 different animals here. They're not going to all live forever, so it's a natural thing, but that's been kind of difficult for me. Well, I always try to think about what we could do for each species of animals that would make their environment even better. So to create a bigger, better habitat, to give them enrichment, things like that. I wish I had more energy. I have the time. I don't have the energy I would be here 24/7 if I had the energy to do that, because I love being here. I love working with the animals. I just can't physically do it anymore. But I would like to have every animal here be in a perfect situation and be perfectly cared for.
Here in South Florida, we live in an area where the minority is the majority. Yet to this day, those same minorities still experience bullying and insecurities. Yoandys Napoles is a Cuban immigrant who moved to New Jersey at the young age of 8. And although his everyday life consisted of being bullied for being the only Latino in the area, he gained a high-level mindset that made him the man he is today. Here's Yoandys with his story.
My name is Yoandys Napoles. I'm a Cuban immigrant who came here 8 years old from Cuba and is loving the U.S. every day. So, you know, when you come here, the first thing, you get to New Jersey, all of a sudden everything is brown. Everything is just weird because, you know, it's like a different, different society you get into, and now you're just excited. All of a sudden we get to our house, we have like a TV in our room for the first time, and you're like, okay, but we come from Cuba, and in Cuba the government always tells you, oh, you got to be careful because when you get to the U.S. they steal kids, they beat their kids, they do this, they do that. So, you're afraid to go outside. You show up at school. Like I got here in the summer, the end of the summer, and school started right away. So I was like, I show up at school, no one knows how to speak Spanish. No one. It was like a whole area was all like Italians and Portuguese and Greeks. So we went to school and, we were like the weird kids because we were just dressed weird. We had everything, different than everybody else. Plus we didn't speak the language. So yeah, you were bullied. They were used to make fun of you and stuff like that. But that's been happening forever. There's one thing you can do in life, bro. If somebody tries to hold you down, and you can become a victim, or you can just use that as fuel for you to just, So if you want to be the victim, and everybody wants to push everybody to be a victim. Oh, if somebody talks bad to you, oh, you feel so bad for you, bro. Forget about that. You just use that as a fuel for you to go above them. You know how many times when I was 18, 19 years old, I was already doing pretty good for myself because I always had like a little business mentality, and I was doing it. And when I was like 18 years old, I bought my first, back then, $62,000 car. And I used to drive that. I was like, where are all these 18-year-old kids? They're probably still living with their mom. I was already looking to buy my first apartment. So I was like, you just use, you use it as fuel, man, not to hold you down. Don't use it as brakes on your back. Use it as fuel to like grow and, do better. And then, when the day comes that you improve on yourself, then you don't have to worry about, and then you can help other kids who are being bullied, and you can help other people when they're, when they're down on their luck.
When it comes to our sports games, you'd think the ones bringing all the energy are the people in the crowd, the cheerleaders, or maybe even the players. But in reality, it's our very own Baby Blues dance team whose energy echoes throughout the field and stands out the most. Sophie Reyes can tell us more.
The loudest cheer section isn't coming from the stands, rather it's coming from West Broward's Baby Blues. The Baby Blues are a motivating dance team that strive to hype up the crowd and show some real school spirit.
I joined the Baby Blues dance team to just motivate more people to join. I was out here telling my friends, oh my gosh, I'm going to join the dance team, to hype the school up, make the school happier. When we do our basketball games, make sure everybody's pumped up and happy to support our team.
The Baby Blues aspire to encourage and motivate more students to join their astonishing dance team. With their loud stomps and chants, they hope to fire up our amazing student section.
So to get the crowd hype, we always try to be loud. We try to make sure we do our stomp and shakes loud and, really do it full out. But we also just like to get them, get up, really to hype them up, We are all a team here, we're all Bobcats, and we're just here to, really cheer on our boys, so.
The dance team sees West Broward as one big family and hopes to lift up the spirits of fellow students. With lots of hard work and dedication, our Baby Blues are devoted to piping up the crowd.
To get the crowd pumped, we really just try to be loud and excited. When we're dancing, if there's other girls that aren't dancing, they're hyping us up. We're trying to get everybody moving. We're trying to get everybody excited because we want our boys to win.
Our boys and girls have worked extremely hard to keep our students and sports teams motivated to keep pushing through. With lots of practice and passion, they have diligently managed to keep our school full of good spirit and good energy. For WB-TV, this has been Sophie Reyes reporting.
Here at BTN, we have the pleasure of working with other schools in the area to find out what's going on here in South Florida. Here's a story from CCNN on Burgerlicious and how it brings the city of Miami together. Juan Carlos Chaui can tell us more.
Every February, Alhambra Circle transforms into one of the biggest food festivals of the year, Burgerlicious.
Yes! So Burgerlicious was created 11 years ago as a way to really showcase our restaurant community. As you imagine, we were having a pretty significant economic recession, so the way that we could bring people together was give them an opportunity to come, try out a great burger, and then go back and patronize that restaurant.
But to business owners, it's about more than just the money.
Burgerlicious as a business is a place to kind of, explore. You get different burgers. We're doing it one way, the other people are doing it a certain different way. So it's kind of a fun place to be at.
And it's this fun atmosphere that keeps people coming back.
I was here last year. We had a great time. It's a really cool way to get together and be with the community in an environment that's low stress. Have a beer, have a burger, get to meet with the people around in the community. It's perfect. It really is.
We take great pride in helping put that together. They show up, bring their great staff, bring their great meal. It's a feel-good moment. You know you're doing great things. And maybe tomorrow you'll go try out the burger at the restaurant.
Even after the festival ends, the spirit of Burgerlicious will continue to live on in the hearts and stomachs of the people. For CCNN Live, I'm Juan Carlos Chaui, reporting.
Now, here's Alexis Vivanco to tell us about the Coconut Grove Art Festival and how it really demonstrates the beauty and vibrance of the city of Miami.
A vibrant city like Miami is not complete without a canvas to work on. Here at the Coconut Grove Arts Festival, artists are getting an opportunity to showcase their talents and add to the mosaic that makes the city so special.
The Coconut Grove Arts Festival is a fine arts festival created 59 years ago as a fundraiser for the Coconut Grove Playhouse. My biggest objective is to bring arts to young people because I feel that we need to encourage a group of young people to move into doing this kind of work.
And the festival is doing just that by providing a way to introduce kids to art.
It's been phenomenal. If you've been over to our Kids Collectors Club, and we almost sold out on the first day.
The Collectors program has given kids a head start on expanding their horizons.
I think looking at the art makes me want to buy art. I saw one of penguins and it was very funny.
Ultimately, artists hope that their work can inspire others to follow in their footsteps.
I love seeing kids excited and inspired by art, and Coconut Grove in particular was kind of always known in our household as the show every year.
These people are artists. They come from nationwide. They're not local. I have artists from Canada. I have artists from all over the country.
Well, I'm not much of an artist myself. Coconut Grove's creators plus a growing youth movement will continue to stand as a centerpiece of Miami's picture-perfect portrait. For CCNNLive, I'm Alexis Vivanco, reporting.
Well, that just about wraps it up for today. Once again, from West Broward High School, I'm Camila Gomez. If you want to see more stories like these and more, make sure you follow our Broward Teen News Facebook page. See you next time and have a great day.
Broward Teen News was brought to you by ProSound and Video.